The journey was fueled by our learnings from our previous roles. When I was at Myntra, one of the prominent problems, not just Myntra, but the industry was facing was unsold inventory. And being a digital first platform, it was a no brainer for us to understand what are people looking for and get the right inventory for the consumer so that we don't have to end up in an unsold inventory problem. And that idea kind of became a genesis to what we started at Virgio. We invested into technology to find what we should be making and when should we be making for the consumers. And that's how we believed we could actually go to a phase in the industry where we don't have to worry about unsold inventory. When we started working on a full stack approach, we realized that there are a lot of options available in the market which can actually make the product much higher quality and much more durable. And when we started approaching this from a very fundamentals point of view or a first principles point of view, that's when we realized that, hey, this is what all sustainability was always about. But since we were a full stack player, our the price architecture was significantly different from the contemporary sustainable brands in the market. And we were also able to give more trendy, more stylish, high quality and affordable styles, also being sustainable. So that's when it really became a big moat for us. It's not just about building trendy fashion, but making it right, both for the consumer, the business, and most importantly for the planet. That's where we are today. So that's how we've evolved in last 18 months. Our process actually starts with understanding what's happening in the world of fashion. There are events, there are people around the world who's influencing the world of fashion almost on a day-to-day basis. Fashion is no longer following a fixed calendar, no longer following 2 seasons where it's fall, winter, or spring, summer. The fashion can change every day. Yes, there are seasonal elements. Yes, there are cultural nuances, but the trends are almost happening on a day-to-day basis. That's our major investment into technology, to understand this on a day-to-day basis or as fast as we can, right? The amount of data that is getting generated and the amount of understanding you have to do from the data is always a challenge. And that's where our computer science backgrounds are coming in. So we are investing into understanding this. Now, once we have a set of insights, that's when the human in the loop, where our designers will come into picture and we tell them that, hey, here is what people are talking about. And here are the best sellers, or not the best sellers, sorry. Here are the styles that the celebs were wearing. So can you make something out of it, work on? Now the design process has been significantly shortened because they don't have to do the research, they just have to design. Now once the design is done, the other part where most of the time is spent is trying to find the right fabric for the design to be realized the right way. What we do instead is we actually have a fabric vault. So our systems know what is available with us in terms of all the available fabrics in the market. So while we are giving insights to our designers, we also give inputs that here are the fabrics that are available with us. And hence our production cycle is much shorter than a typical production cycle. We are not compromising on the quality, and hence what happens inside a factory is still the same amount of time. We are not pushing for an hour or a day kind of a job. We want it to be built the right way, and hence our QC process, the quality check process, is very stringent. Now once this is done, we have our cataloging process and everything, and then we list it on our websites. We also list it on our marketplace partners, and that's when the consumers actually get it. So that's the loop we follow. We're actually seeing a lot of demand. I mean, we are currently operating in India. We have a lot of demand coming in from metros, tier 1s, some tier 2s, not much yet, because our style language is also not talking to the entire India at this moment. But what is surprising for us is beyond, I mean, more than metros, it's the cities like Surat, Ahmedabad, Pune, Jaipur, Hyderabad. They're doing phenomenally well for us. The first order values are significantly higher than metros. And most of the first orders are prepaid orders, which is not something I've witnessed even when I was at Myntra, which only talks about the trust that the brand was able to build with by being transparent and by telling the story very honestly. this is something that we are hearing from our consumers, our own team members, that hey, we have a product where we need to be in offline, where people come realize what they're getting for the money. Because whenever we've done pop-ups in the metros, the price has become a no-brainer for our consumers. But in online, unfortunately, they're looking at a catalog, and there are many dropship models where a similar looking style could be available for half of its price or one third of its price. But only when you touch and feel both the styles, you would know why this cost this much versus this cost this much. And that's where offline would always make a difference for us. And yes, we are actually planning to open store, at least one store by end of this year. Sure, we've been actually live for 9 months. And if I just discount the first quarter, where we were also trying to get our feet right, our steps right and everything. So it's technically 2 quarters of operations. And within these 3 months, 3 quarters, I would say, we are growing 50% quarter over quarter, which is a very good tailwind for us for the price segment we are operating, and just being an online only brand. Online usually has this headwinds of pricing, discounting and everything, and we don't have discounting on the platform by choice. And even with that, the kind of growth we are witnessing, and more importantly, it's not the numbers, it's about the qualitative feedback that we keep getting from the customers, that oh, we're loving it. I mean, if you go to our website, you can see these ratings and reviews on the website. It's a public information. Over 50% of, like, 1 in 2 styles have been rated or reviewed by our customers. The average rating is 4.4 out of 5. That's actually something that is pushing us to do even better. And that's what's actually driving us. The journey has just started for us, but I see, while the road is long ahead of us, but I see this is going to be a fun ride. The D2C element of any retail brand helps more in telling the story directly to the consumer. The reason why we take so much pride in our website or app is because we are not just talking about the product, we're talking about what happened behind the scenes. Like, if you go to our product page, the carbon footprint, the amount of energy used, the amount of water used, we take pride in talking about how much we have saved in making your favorite dress, which no brand actually talks about, right? And that's where, while this is something the consumers might not care about today, but very soon they will start noticing these things. Brand building is a very slow journey, but it's a very consistent journey. And when you do it right, that will become your biggest moat, and that's what we're going for. And D2C journey is helping us position us around who we are and what we stand for. See, our mission statement is to make sustainability a mainstream fashion business. If it doesn't become a mainstream thing, and as long as it stays niche, it's not going to make a change in the industry. Every year we will read reports about this much landfill has happened, this many carbon emissions are happening, this much river water has been polluted, and the reason is because sustainability has not become mainstream. We're still buying stuff which is not good for the consumer, the business, and the planet. So our job is to get there, and the way we are doing it is we are going full stack. We are taking out middlemen as much as we can, and passing on the goodness to the consumer in terms of an affordable pricing. When we are hoping that if this picks up, it gives us economies of scale to go invest more into the ecosystem to make a lot of these things viable for other brands to jump in and do it, so that more and more brands start talking the language of sustainability. And that I see is the first step towards changing the direction for the fashion industry. And when the sustainability becomes table stakes, then fashion is no longer the largest polluter or the second largest polluter in the world. That's what we are aiming for.